In the beginning, God created the world. You got your chaos, let there be light, it was good. You got your day and night, sun, earth, seas, plants, vegetation, sun, moon, stars, fish, water creatures, birds, mammals, land creatures, Adam and Eve. Very good. Work done. Good. Create Shabbat. Rest. Adam and Eve snake eat from the tree of knowledge. Now Adam realizes he has no pants on. Very embarrassed. Shame. God is angry. Punished. Banished. Then Cain and Abel. First murder. Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah. God is wondering, what did I just get myself into? Noah, best of the worst, really builds an ark. Here's God, 2 by 2, floody, 40 days, very cramped, smelly. Finally, it all stops. Rainbow, kapow, God's promise, no more floods. People in Colorado and Louisiana, not so sure. But anyway, on to Avram. He gets the call. Go, get up, leave your land, and go where I will show you. Takes his wife, her brother, their stuff, and off they go. God makes all kinds of crazy promises to Avram. Changes his name to Abraham. Tells him his offspring will be as numerous as the stars. Abraham has a son. God says, kill him. Abraham says, okay, whatever you say. He almost does it. God says, I was kidding. Look, kill the lamb instead. Sarah dies. Isaac goes wife hunting. Finds Rebekah at the well. She's a looker. Marriage. Rebekah is barren. Isaac prays. Ping! Twins. One is hairy. One is hanging on by an ankle. Esau and Jacob. One is a hunter. One is a homebody. Esau is hungry. Sells birthright to Jacob. There's a famine. Isaac grows old. Wants to give his blessing to Esau, the son he favors and loves most of all. Rebekah has Jacob trick dear old dad, who gives him the blessing instead of Esau. Esau comes back, is tricked, wants to kill Jacob, who by this time has already fled. Jacob's dream, the whole ladder thing, God, angels. Jacob hooks up with Laban, who gives him the old 2-for-1 special in return for his servitude. Leah and Jacob become his brides, give him lots of kids. Esau is coming. Jacob freaks, takes the whole brood across the river, but dreams and has a wrestling match instead. Gets a new name from God, Yisrael, one who wrestles with God. Joseph is a dreamer, way back. Brothers hate him, vow to kill him, throw him in a pit. He's sold to slavery, becomes a servant to Potiphar, gets caught trying to make it with Potiphar's wife. He's thrown in jail. Starts dream analysis to pass the time. Pharaoh can't sleep. Joseph gets the call to interpret the dreams. A famine is coming. Pharaoh makes Joseph his number 2. Joseph becomes a mighty prince. Famine hits Canaan. Brothers come groveling. Joseph asks about dear old dad. He's alive! Joseph reveals it is he, Joseph. Brothers think they're being punked, but it's true. Jacob comes down. The whole family settles in Goshen, the best suburb in Egypt, which leads us to Shmot. So Pharaoh doesn't know this Joseph guy and enslaves the Israelites who are growing in number and threaten him. So they are slaves for hundreds of years. It becomes all the Israelites know. Finally, God hears their cries. Moses is sent away in a little teva, an ark, the same word that we use in the book of Noah. And he's picked up by Pharaoh's daughter who takes him in. He grows up as an Egyptian and learns their ways and customs, but inside he's an Israelite. He sees the Jew being beaten and Moses kills the Egyptian and flees for his life. He ends up seeing a burning bush and it starts talking, and even Moses is a bit weirded out by all this, but it's cool. He can handle it. God tells him he is the leader, the one, the go-to guy. Moses reluctantly agrees. Let my people go. But Pharaoh has a heart condition, so he doesn't. And God heaps some very nasty plagues on Egypt until finally Pharaoh says, no mas, just leave. So the Israelites do, but Pharaoh changes his mind again and chases them to the Red Sea, which miraculously parts, and the Israelites go through, but the Egyptians chase, and they are drowned. Ozi, vezim radia. And they sing, but then 5 minutes later they are hungry and thirsty, and there are no rest stops anywhere. So they whine to Moshe, and God delivers him water and manna. Double on Shabbat, which is why we have 2 challahs. Now you know. People complain. God complains. Moses complains. Moses complains about the complaining. Lots of complaining. Finally, God lays down the law. Literally. Big sound and light show. Think Epcot Center at night, but only bigger and without the concession stands. God gives the people the whole law, but he creates the first top 10 list. No Letterman did not create it. Basically, I am God, keep Shabbat, no killing, no cheating, no coveting, etc. Keep all these, God says, life will be golden. Don't? Well, we know how things worked out. And now, time for the laws. Ready? Go. Slaves, punishable by death crimes like killing, kidnapping, insulting one's parents, going on your parents' smartphone without permission. Look it up, it's there. Ox ownership, not all it's cracked up to be. Read the fine print. Stay holy, Israelites. Let the land lie fallow in the 7th year. And the ever-popular eye for an eye. Then we have some gifts, and then it's off to IKEA for the building of the tabernacle, a portable ark with all kinds of crazy instructions. Then more building. Then it's off to the wardrobe where we get the lowdown on the fashions for the priests. Then everything goes crazy. Moses, who's been up chatting with God for some ungodly amount of time, and the people are restless. They demand they build a golden calf, and Aaron, fearing for his life, gives in. Moses goes down to greet them, and he's really mad. He breaks the 2 stone tablets, which were really heavy. So the people repent, and Moses carves a new set. Which brings us to Leviticus. Leviticus, ritual slaughter, and all the fun and exciting stuff like kosher laws and gripping edge of your seat stuff like skin disease and lepers and discharges, and finally the laws of holiness, laws about the festivals, laws about how to treat the land, giving gifts, and the laws of regifting are spelled out in detail. in the wilderness, Bamidbar, census getting ready for the battle, more gift giving, and more complaining by the Israelites. Moses has had it. He's ready to quit. And God tells him to appoint 70 elders so he can delegate his workload. And God contaminates the very meat he gives the complainers who die. Another reason to be vegetarian. God tells Moses to send spies to Canaan. They all come back whining, "We can't. They're too big. We're like grasshoppers in their eyes." But two spies, Joshua and Caleb, come back and say, "That all may be true, but we can beat these guys." God decides he's had it with these stiff-necked people and basically says this whole generation is going to die in the desert. Spoiler alert, so does Moses. There's a rebel in the land, Korach, but in the end he's put down, swallowed up by the earth in one of the coolest special effects since the parting of the Red Sea. Miriam dies, Aaron dies, the Israelites are now fighting for their lives. Balak sees the mighty Israelites and hires Balaam, a sorcerer, to curse them, but he can't. Instead, he blesses them. Matovu Dvarim. Moses' farewell address. He goes back to remind the Israelites of all that has come before, gives them the highlight reel, not all good, mind you, and basically says, if you follow God's ways, you will be blessed. If not, well, here are the dozens and dozens of horrible, painful, really nasty and terrible things that will happen to you if you don't. Oh yes, and the Shema and the V'ahavta are here in Devarim too. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Torah in exactly 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Thank you, and good night.